Okay, I created this little model using some components that I have in a FormZ model library of windows and doors and different things. And I created it to show you what you have to do to get from FormZ model to Photoshop. And I'm going to break it up into small sections so you don't have this rewinding and going through a whole series of things. So I'm going to take it little bits at a time. So, of course, when you're modeling, you want to try to be conscious of the materials. So if something's trim, make it a trim color. I use white. Wall color is one color. The roof is shingles. The chimney is brick. The windows are blue. You know, that kind of thing. Just it's a standard. I have a color palette that I use that I pretty much start all models using, and I'll send that to you. The very first thing that you want to do is go to your display, go down to image options, and what you want to do is you want to change whatever your image size is that you are working in. Is probably something small, but what you want to do is you want to set up, use custom size, and in the box that it says width, you want to put 4800, and then just hit tab, and it'll come up 3600, 48 by 3600. So that's how you change the resolution of an image that you render when you render it out. So the next thing that I want to point out is in the lights palette over here on the right hand side, you'll see that you've got, and this is by default, a sunlight and an ambient light. And so if we simply did Command K now, you would see your model illuminated by those two lights. And I don't use them. The Command 2 will get us back to the model. the ambient light I just turn off. The sunlight I'm just going to right click with my mouse and I'm going to select it and then right click and go down to delete. I'm going to delete it. I have another file model actually that I'm going to send to you, and it has my standard lights in it. So go to, when you get it, put it someplace where you remember. I'm not sure if I already gave it to you, but if not, I will send it to you, a couple of things very soon. And what you want to do is you want to go to wherever you've put that file. I have a file called FormZ Parts, and since it's actually a model, it's called Basic Lighting. Basic Lighting. And again, I'm going to send this to you, and you put it in a place where you can remember where it is. So open it up. It's a simple little kind of birdhousey looking thing, and it has 4 lights. 2 that represent the sun and a couple of others. And if you go over to your lights palette on the right hand side and just hold the mouse down underneath the red check mark and go slide down, you'll select them all, and you'll see in the little birdhouse that they've turned red. That indicates to you visually that they've been copied. And then hit Command C to copy them. And then you can close that file up. You do not need to save it. And then in your model, you want to do paste. And you'll see that these come in, all 4 of them come in. Now your ambient light is still there, but it's turned off, so it's not going to affect anything. And over on the model again, you can see that since the check marks are red over here, they're highlighted. And so, you know, it's going to throw the sun in from the left side over, so these parts are going to be in shade. You're going to have some shadows across the top of the trellis, that kind of thing. So let's just do a quick Command K to do a quick render and see what that image is potentially going to look like. And because your resolution is high, things are going to slow down. So A little patience here. Okay. I'm reasonably happy with the way that's going to turn out. So I'm just going to do Command period, which is going to stop the rendering process, and then do Command 2 to get back to our model. So now we have increased the resolution, we've set up our lights, and the very next thing we want to do is we want to pick a view. So the way that I do that is to go up to I think it's display, and you go down to display options. I think it is. No, it's not display options. Shit. Do Command E, and you get in here and view parameters. It'll appear over on the right hand side. And what you want to do is double click in the Z eye point and put in 5 feet, and then tab over to the other Z height, which is what you're looking at, and go 5 feet and hit enter. Okay, now for exterior views I use 5 feet unless I'm instructed to do otherwise. This is normal eye level for a human being kind of thing. Interiors I usually lower it down to around 4 feet. It seems to look better in interiors, but exteriors 5 feet is sort of the golden rule. So once that's established, just go back up to the upper left hand corner and click the red to close it, and all you're doing is closing that view selection part of Form Z. You want to go down to views because you haven't saved the view. You've created it, but you haven't saved it. So you click on the plus button and call it, we'll call it Final View. Final. Would help if I typed it right. Final View. Okay. Now, good time to save. So save your model. And that's going to be it for this little tutorial. The next thing we're going to be doing is putting all of the materials on their own separate layers, but that'll come up next.